Welcome, Bears fans, to the Chicago Bears Film Room presented by the Bear Report. I'm your host, Andrew Freeman, and today I'll be going over the Bears' 20-17 win over the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 2 of the 2021 season. This was a really odd game with the Bears starting off well with a touchdown drive on offense, but the defense was what won this one for the Bears. Just a very dominant showing all around for these guys. 5 sacks and 4 turnovers, including a stretch where they got interceptions on not 1, not 2, but 3 straight plays off of Joe Burrow. Just a huge turnaround from last week when they got absolutely torched against LA. The big story from this game, though, however, was Justin Fields officially taking over for Andy Dalton as Dalton injured himself on a non-contact play in the first half. It was later revealed to be a bone bruise after the game, and for the time being, Justin Fields is the guy at quarterback moving forward. He's getting his first start as a Bear against the Cleveland Browns. So, how did Fields play in this game? Well, that's partly what we'll be doing today and looking at as we'll look at the good and the bad from his performance. I also got some stuff I wanted to cover for the rest of this Bears team, though, particularly on defense. Now, before getting into the film, I just want to say that if you're a fan of this video and like what we're doing here at the Bear Report on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe below. Any support is always appreciated. So without further ado, let's get started by looking at some of the good 2 key plays from the offense's opening drive, and I'll bring up the film right here. All right, so here we are with the offense here, looking at some of the key plays from this opening drive that they had, that scoring drive they had at the beginning of this game. And one of the things I really liked from Matt Nagy's game plan in this game was that he ran a lot more play action in this one. And you're going to see it on this play right here. This is a nice concept that they ran a similar concept of over and over again in this game. It's a simple play where it's going to be play action off outside zone with a man in motion, the wide receiver acting as that jet man motion to kind of give the linebackers a different look and freeze the defense a little bit. And then what we're doing is we have a post that's going to take the safeties out of the play, open up that area of the field with a crosser underneath from Darnell Mooney into the open vacated area where he's going to be open for the nice easy completion here. So we're going to let this play right here. And as we see here, you see the jet motion right there. And Darnell Mooney does a nice job of getting open in space. And it's just an easy pitch and catch right here from Andy Dalton to Darnell Mooney. We're going to see it from the tight right here. This is actually a very nice throw from Andy Dalton here because it's really not as wide open as it would seem. It's kind of a tight window there, as you see. But, again, really nice play. We're going to show it one more time. Just perfect execution on this play from the fake. It freezes the linebackers a little bit, gets them to come forward, opens up the window. Nice play to get a first down. All right, and here's the second play of this opening drive right here. This is the Allen Robinson touchdown play. And what the Bears essentially have going on this one is a pick-aside read, essentially. So pretty much the concept and the read is the same on both sides of the field with a slant or post from your wide receivers that are playing tight to the formation from Darnell Mooney and Allen Robinson with a flat route from your running backs to the flat right here. So the read is pretty much simple from essentially the slant to the flat on this play, except on the top of the screen right here to the strong side of the formation, we have Cole Kmet running a curl route. And the purpose of that right here is to essentially take the linebacker in the middle of the field out of the play to open up that throwing window to Allen Robinson for the slant over the top of that route here. And so we're going to let this play. And again, the read right here for Andy Dalton is essentially when you look at this right here. So you see the cornerback right here on the outside of the edge right there. If he goes to play the running back to the flat in this one, that's going to open up the window to throw the ball over the top to Allen Robinson, throw it high, and give him a chance to make a play on the ball for the touchdown. If the quarterback drops deep, that opens up the throw to the running back in the flat where hopefully the running back can pick up extra yards after the catch. So let it play from here. Smooth route by Allen Robinson. Andy Dalton throws the ball on time, on target, and that gets the Bears offense started with a touchdown in this first drive. So here's the angle from the tight. We see here that the Bengals are kind of a little confused on this play, but watch Cole Kmet's curl route take the linebacker out of this play. So that opens up the window right there where Cole Kmet is essentially setting a pick on this play so that the linebacker cannot interfere in that throwing window. And once the quarterback, we'll back up here a little bit. And once the quarterback, number 24, clears that open area, the window is wide open, or I shouldn't say 24, but you see that cornerback open up the window, and Allen Robinson's wide open for the touchdown right there. So this play, going over to the defensive side of the ball now, this is what we really want to talk about here when we talk about this defense. This is the first sack of the game that we saw from Robert Quinn in this one. And this was just a nice little action that Sean Desai used, I thought. And I thought Sean Desai did a really good job in this game in general of adjusting after that debacle that we saw in week one. And we see on this play that we're going to see a stunt here. So we see Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn on the same side of the formation on the right side. And what Khalil Mack is going to do, he's going to charge up the field to take the left tackle and the left guard. And that just vacates the entire area for Robert Quinn to come and swoop in underneath. So watch Robert Quinn. He's going to sell like he's going upfield, and then boom, he just goes right underneath the play and gets the easy sack right there. And the Bears, they ran a ton of stunts in this game. This is really what they wanted to do all game long, to give the Bengals different looks on that side of the ball. And it worked for them. They were really good at that stuff for the majority of this game. All right, moving on to our next play here on the defensive side of the ball. I want you to watch Jalen Johnson. So what the Bengals are trying to do here is they're trying to run a pick play where you have a wheel route and a slant at the bottom of the screen. And what the Bears are going to do here is basically Jalen Johnson and Roquan Smith at the bottom of the screen are going to pass off these routes. So Jalen Johnson, he's going to take the slant. Roquan Smith, he's going to take the wheel. Basically avoid the pick action that the Bengals are trying to run here. And this is just a great job by Jalen Johnson, reading the play all the way, showing great instincts. Now, you'd like to see him make a better play on the ball, but you can't complain with the pass deflection. This was on third down, I believe, as well. Just really good stuff. Sees it coming all the way, anticipates it, pass breakup, get off the field on third down. All right, this is the second sack of the game I wanted to show. So there isn't really much significant from a schematic standpoint, but I want you to watch Khalil Mack on the right side here as he just blows up Riley Reiff on the play, and this opens up the door for Bilal Nichols to get the sack, who does a nice job of pushing the pocket as well. So watch Khalil Mack here. This is quintessential Khalil Mack. Convert speed to power, just bully his way into the backfield. And you can see right here, he's completely collapsed the pocket right here and made it impossible for Joe Burrow to get this throw off and really even escape the pocket. There's nowhere for Joe Burrow to go. And a lot of that has to do with Khalil Mack here just being dominant and doing what he does best. Dominant pass rush, and that just allows Bilal Nichols to take advantage and get the easy sack right there. So Khalil Mack, I thought he had a good game in this one. I tracked him as being responsible, even when you go back to that first sack I saw with Robert Quinn, I saw him responsible for 3 sacks in this game. So Khalil Mack, I thought he had a bounce-back game in this one. That was just one example of it right there. And speaking of Khalil Mack getting sacks, this is a Khalil Mack sack from the game. And this is an interesting one because this really wasn't about the pass rush here, more so about the Bengals and their lack of offensive execution. So I want you to watch the bottom of the screen here. So what the Bengals are running is they're running a wide receiver screen to the bottom. But one of the wide receivers, I don't know if it's supposed to be the guy who's on the outside or the wide receiver in the slot, but both of these wide receivers go to block, and one of them is supposed to be the receiver here on the screenplay, and that does not happen. So both of these wide receivers go to block on this play, and you can see right there, Joe Burrow's like, okay, what am I supposed to do from this point? All the offensive linemen are out, and Khalil Mack's already in his face. So it's a broken play by the Bengals. The Bears take advantage of it. You definitely take that when it's given to you in the NFL. But from a pass rushing perspective, again, watch the stuff that the Bears are doing. They did this all game long. Watch Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack on the right side here. So Akeem Hicks, he's going to occupy both linemen here. Khalil Mack's going to swoop in underneath. And then, getting Khalil Mack on a guard, that's a mismatch every single time, especially with the Bengals and their weak interior offensive line. And Khalil Mack is easy, really easy stuff for Khalil Mack right there. That's an easy sack for him. All right, speaking of another sack, this is a big play from later on in the second half. Roquan Smith getting his first sack of the NFL season in 2021. And this is very interesting design, I thought, by the Bears. So what they're showing here pre-snap, I'll show it without the design right here with their actual plays. But when you look at what they're doing right here pre-snap, it looks like they're showing their basic cover 4 match cell. So their basic traditional cover 4 defense, match zone. Typically something you'll expect to see from this Bears defense. But again, because they're going from this too high shell look, it allows them to disguise their coverages, allows them to disguise their intentions. And what they're actually running here is a cover 3 blitz with Roquan Smith acting like he's going to take coverage against a slot receiver. He's blitzing on this play. You have every single defensive lineman crashing to the left side of the offensive line, I should say. Khalil Mack dropping back in coverage to take everything that's going underneath on this play. And it's cover 3 match across the board. So pretty much Jalen Johnson, Duke Shelley, Deshaun Gibson, Kindle Vildor, they're essentially in man coverage against their man, but it's technically cover 3. Because it's a match principle, though, they're essentially in man coverage until they can pass off their designated receiver into the next zone, essentially. So that's essentially what the Bears are running here. And the Bengals, they don't expect this at all. You can see it right here on this play that the entire offensive line shifts to the left. They take the blitz. Roquan Smith is right there for the easy sack. And I just want you to watch how fast Roquan Smith closes here. Roquan Smith, what makes him special as a linebacker is just pure speed and the instincts he has. So he times up this play perfectly on the snap count, and he is explosive off the edge here. So I want you to watch Roquan Smith just explodes off the line, and he's right there before Joe Burrow can do anything with this play. So a perfect play call by Sean Desai to take away some of the short underneath stuff that the Bengals want to run with their blitz, force Joe Burrow to hold on to the ball just that split second longer, just long enough for Roquan Smith to get in there and make a play. So another play that Roquan Smith, this is the signature play, I think, from this game, at least in my opinion. This is Roquan Smith, pick 6 from the second half in the fourth quarter. This is just an example of just Roquan's exceptional instincts on this play. And I don't have the play diagrammed here, but watch Roquan Smith in the middle of the field. He is the linebacker on the right side there. So he's lined up across from the center on this play. Watch how far he has to go to get to this interception right over here. And he sees it the entire way. You can see it right away where he's reading Joe Burrow's eyes the entire time. Watch him right here. He sees where Joe Burrow wants to go with the ball. He's counting on undercutting that underneath curl route right there. And then once he gets the interception, this is just a fantastic play. He looks like a running back practically when he gets the ball in his hands right there. So a very special play. Here's the tight angle. Watch Roquan Smith's head and where his eyes are going on this play. So he's looking at, so he sees where the route is going all the way. He knows that's where Joe Burrow wants to go, and he just explodes on it. And again, just a crazy run back as well. So Roquan Smith, he's showing why he's one of the best young linebackers in the NFL, if not the best. He was exceptional on Sunday. And speaking of exceptional, I don't want to discount what Jalen Johnson brought to the table in this game. So watch Jalen Johnson. This is his interception on literally the very next play from scrimmage, I think. But Jalen Johnson at the top of your screen, he does a nice job here of anticipating the underneath curl route, and he's playing it right away. So what we're going to see, I'm going to back it up just a little bit, is Jalen Johnson. He starts off as if he's going to be in press coverage, but he knows that press coverage against curl routes typically can be, a little bit tough sometimes. So if he's in off coverage, he can better anticipate what the wide receiver is doing and, play mind games a little bit with the wide receiver, anticipate his route, get some eyes on the quarterback to anticipate an interception here. So he's going to fake like he's going to press, and then he bails at the start of this play. So right here, we're at the point where this can either be a vertical route, it can be a curl route. And Jalen Johnson, he's playing the curl the entire way. He knows that because the Bears have a stunt going on here that Joe Burrow's going to look to get the ball out quick. He's been doing it all game long. He anticipates it, and he plays it perfectly on this one. Just another great play right here. So again, you're going to see it from the tight. There's another angle from you can see the stunking pressure on Joe Burrow, forcing him to get the ball out quick, and Jalen Johnson is right there for the interception. And this is the last play I'll show from the defense here. This is the third interception that the Bears had. And again, it's another blitz that the Bears are showing here. So they're showing just their basic cover 3 in this instance, but Alec Ogletree is going to blitz on this one. And I want you to watch what he does to the running back on this play. Causes Joe Burrow, to get the ball tipped into the air. Easy interception for Angelo Blackson here. Big man interception. You love to see that stuff for the big guys up front. So Alec Ogletree, watch what he does to the running back, picking up the blitz. just absolutely destroys him on that play. And the ball is right into Angelo Blackson's hand right there. So really nice stuff. But I know you guys don't want to talk about the defense here. I mean, we love defense in Chicago, but we want to discuss Justin Fields and how he played. And you know what, Justin Fields, there were definitely some ups in this game. There were a lot of highs, but there were some struggles that he showed on film in this one as well. And I'm going to go through those first because I want to end this episode on a positive note with Justin Fields' play, but I want to go through some of the negatives that he showed in this game. And in this first play, this is the first sack that Justin Fields in this one. And what we have, I don't have it drawn up here, but it's a basic curls concept on this play. And Justin Fields, he just holds onto the ball way too long here. So you're going to see it. He's got the ball for 2-3 seconds here. Doesn't step up in the pocket. I'm going to show from the tight angle right here. You're going to see Justin Fields, he has a window to step up in the pocket. And instead, he just stands there like a statue on this play. Very atypical for him. Usually, he has better pocket presence, better pocket movement than this. And what happens is when you stand that deep in the pocket, it exposes your tackles. So the tackles here, Jason Peters and Jermaine Fetty, they don't actually do a bad job in this play. They do a good enough job of pushing their pass rushers beyond the edge of the pocket here. But when your quarterback is so far back, it just makes it impossible to block. And Justin Fields has to do a better job of recognizing that and stepping up in the pocket. And from there, even though there was no one open down the field on this particular play, from there he can, step up in the pocket, scramble outside the pocket, hope that someone gets open on the scramble drill. If not, run for a few more yards and pick up something with his legs there. So that's some of the stuff you want to see Justin Fields do from going forward. And this is a problem for him at Ohio State in terms of holding onto the ball. Got to see him do better there moving forward. Going on to later in the drive, I believe this was. So the Bears are running kind of a dagger concept here. So what we have is Marquis Goodwin in the middle of the field. He's running a middle of the field vertical route across the formation where he's going to take the safety out of the play and open up the middle of the field for Darnell Mooney on the in route here. Allen Robinson running a basic out or a sideline flat to the sideline to open up things and stretch out the defense a little bit. So what I think the Bears are trying to attack here is Goodwin's going to open up the middle of the field for Darnell Mooney underneath, who's going to occupy the open area in the middle of the field. I think that's where Justin Fields wants to go to the ball. Unfortunately, protection does break down on him a little bit here, a little bit of a congested pocket on this play. And, in my opinion, I think Justin Fields panics a little bit here, holds onto the ball a little bit too long once again, and, runs his way into pressure on this one. So you're going to see it from the tight right here. First of all, watch Darnell Mooney on display as he's going to get pretty much not wide open, but you can see right here on this play. So he's about to enter the second window of this play where the linebacker is clearly playing to the sideline on this play. If Justin Fields can hold on to the ball and stay in the pocket just a little bit longer, I think he can hit Darnell Mooney on the second window there in the middle of the field if he just had a split second longer. But unfortunately, the protection does break down a little bit here. So the smart play for Justin Fields here is to get the ball to his check down, who is Williams underneath, Damian Williams underneath, who's just leaking out of the backfield. Justin Fields, unfortunately, holds on the ball, drifts a little bit in the pocket, and just puts himself in a bad situation where, once again, Jason Peters does fine in pass protection. Justin Fields has to get the ball to his check down. So you're going to see it right here. He wants to go to the in route right there. Doesn't have it right in that first window. And instead of standing strong in the pocket, he drifts outside of the pocket to where his protection isn't. He plays against the leverage of his offensive line and puts himself into danger here. Puts himself in a spot where he can, take a hit where he doesn't necessarily have to in this scenario. If he would have stepped up to the right in this pocket a little bit, he would have had a little bit more movement, a little bit more room to hit Darnell Mooney either on that shot over the middle of the field or get a nice clean look at getting Williams the ball on the check down, who's wide open right here. And I think if he gets the ball to Williams on this play, he has enough runway to get the first down here. Instead, it's a pressured throw, it's inaccurate, and it goes for an incompletion. All right, this play right here is the second sack that Justin Fields take. This is a slot fade concept here when we look at the passing concept. I don't have it drawn up once again. But what we're going to see on this play is that the Bengals are running a stunt here. And what essentially is going to happen is that James Daniels allows a little bit of pressure here in the middle, which I think spooks out Justin Fields just a little bit here, enough for him to go backwards in the play. And this is a classic strip sack fumble here. So Justin Fields doesn't do a good enough job, in my opinion, of protecting the ball. Obviously, if you go back to the wide angle here, I mean, as you can see, there's no one open on this play. So I don't blame Justin Fields for holding onto the ball on this play in particular. There's no one particularly open on this one. He has to be more aware in the pocket, though. We'll show it from the tight that he's in a tight congested area. He has to do a better job of holding onto the ball when he's in the pocket. So we're going to see it right here. Watch the right side of the offensive line. James Daniels and Jermaine Fetty are going to pass off a stunt. And James Daniels allows just enough pressure in there where Justin Fields feels like he has to get out and scramble just a little bit. And that opens up for Trey Hendrickson on the left side of the offensive line, who's going around the edge right here against Jason Peters. He runs right into Trey Hendrickson's area, causes the strip sack fumble. Now, to credit Justin Fields, he does a nice job of getting back on the football and not giving up on the play once he does get sacked. So you got credit for him for that. So he makes the rookie mistake of being a little bit too loose with the ball in the pocket, but he shows good effort and hustle to get right back onto it once that play does eventually happen. So some good there, but definitely a rep that Justin Fields would like to have back. And then going on to this next one, this is the interception that Justin Fields threw late in the fourth quarter. So what the Bears are trying to run offensively here is a basic sail concept. So at the top of the screen, we have a 3-by-1 where you have 3 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 wide receiver to the bottom here. And what we have at the top is a vertical route that can convert to a post based off of an alert read before the snap. And then Darnell Mooney in the slot is running what we call a sail route to the sideline. And then Al Robinson is clearing out, getting into the middle of the field on the middle of the field curl to kind of clear out things for Marquis Goodwin, who's going to be running a shallow route, a shallow crosser basically over the middle of the field. And what the read is here for Justin Field is on the outside, that vertical route is an alert play, but the number one read here is to go to Darnell Mooney and then hit Al Robinson over the middle of the curl, and then Marquis Goodwin is the 3. He's the third read on this play. Now, with that said, look what the Bengals are running here. They are running presenting to Justin Fields here, a cover 0 blitz. So what a cover 0 blitz essentially is the Bengals are going to be running man across the board as we have lined up right here, and they're going to be blitzing pretty much everybody, more than what the Bears have at offensive line to protect Justin Fields with. They're showing 7 blitzes on this play. Now, here's a wrinkle, though, that Justin Fields has to contend with. While the Bengals are showing 7 blitzers on this play, only 6 of them are coming because that linebacker who's lining up against James Daniels right now, he's dropping back into a robber zone, basically cutting off any check down underneath, any hot route underneath, basically, to force Justin Fields to hold onto the ball that split second longer or bait him into an easy interception. That's what he does on this play. So Justin Fields, how does he come back this? Well, you're going to see right here that Marquis Goodwin is going to be wide open on this play, and he's the hot read right here. So right here, Justin Fields has to get the ball out now. And is that a nitpick a little bit? Yeah, potentially. But again, you got to factor in that he's going up against a cover 0 blitz. He has to get the ball out quickly. Otherwise, he's going to get hit. And so the proper play here is to get the ball out to Marquis Goodwin right away. Instead, he tries to go through his reads. He holds onto the ball. He tries to get to the top of his drop here. Just holds onto the ball too long, doesn't see the linebacker dropping underneath this route, and it's an easy interception for the defense right here. So again, this is a rookie mistake. This is not a glaring red flag here by Justin Fields. This is something that we expect every single rookie to struggle with early on in their careers. This is a very complex, tough blitz package to go up against. And we saw here, the Bengals got Justin Fields on this one. They beat him on this play. All right, moving on from some of the bad to some of the mixed things I saw in this one in terms of, there were some elements of good play on these types of plays, but, there are some stuff I'm going to nitpick here. This play isn't necessarily about Justin Fields. I just want to highlight Jimmy Graham here at the bottom of the screen for being just a horrendous blocker. Watch Jimmy Graham here that's a terrible block. The Bears, what they're running here is essentially a read option play, basic read option, and they had 2 blockers getting out here, and if Jimmy Graham can just get a hand on the Cincinnati Bengals defensive back here, I think it's a walk-in touchdown for Justin Fields. And, the Bears are paying $7 million for Jimmy Graham to do stuff like this year. That's great. So just not a great route by Jimmy Graham blocking. We knew he's not a great blocker anyway, so you can argue that, from Matt Nagy's perspective, why are you putting him out there where he's the lead blocker on a read option play? I get that. Not a great look there. Again, I think if Jimmy Graham gets a hand on the Bengals DB there, that's probably a touchdown. All right, getting on to this next play. I love the design of this play right here. I love everything going on schematic-wise. So what we have here is a deep corner from the wide receiver at the top of the screen with Darnell Mooney running across the field on a deep crosser with play action to, get the linebackers moving forward, open up that passing window over there. And I love the way that they get to the line of scrimmage quickly. They get the Bengals on their heels right away on this play. It's a great play call, I think, to get Justin Fields in rhythm. Unfortunately, the throw is just a little bit off, and I think it's not a terrible throw, but this is a kind of a sign where I think that, Justin Fields not getting a ton of reps with the ones. You see it here on plays like this where, it's not necessarily a bad ball that he throws here, but it's just a split of a hair off, just a little bit, too long on this one. So that's something where I feel like if he gets more chemistry with Darnell Mooney and Allen Robinson and all of these guys with the ones, we're going to start to see these plays be completions going forward. I'm going to show it one more time here. And again, to give credit where credit's due, Justin Fields did hit a completion on this on a similar play later in the game. So, he's shown that he can do it. It's just a matter of getting the timing down and the accuracy down on this. But, again, I think it was a good play call. It wasn't necessarily a terrible ball, but that's one throw that I think Justin Fields would like to have back in this one because that would have been a pretty significant chunk play. I think that was on the second or first down there. I can't remember. All right, this is a fun one to discuss because I really love the concept on this play. So what we have is the running back's going to be going in motion, and this is a variation of mesh on this play. So typically when you're looking at a mesh play and what the read is here, typically you're looking at the running back coming out of the backfield here. Usually it's typically a wheel route, but on this play, he's just motioning out into the flat. Typically, that's your alert read, and then your first read is the mesh underneath with your short crossers with, as we see in this play, Jimmy Graham going across the field, and then Darnell Mooney in the slot going across the field. And usually the second read beyond that is the curl route in the middle of the field, which is what Allen Robinson is running on this play. But a tiny wrinkle that I want you to pay attention to that Matt Nagy throws in here is we have another crossing route, a deeper crossing route here from Marquis Goodwin, who I boxed in right there at the top of the screen. He's running a deeper crossing route here. And while Justin Fields, as we're going to see when I play it here, Justin Fields I think makes a fine read. He's a little bit late with his timing here, but you're going to see Marquis Goodwin just be wide open on this play. And I think this is a read that Justin Fields is going to go back and see that, okay, yeah, Darnell Mooney, he's technically open right here. But look at Marquis Goodwin and how much open real estate he has right there and how big that throwing window is compared to what Justin Fields has. So, Justin Fields, when throwing to Darnell Mooney here, he has two Bengals defenders right there in the throwing window. So, it's a window that's open, but it's just a tougher throw. And I think, with Marquis Goodwin, I think being the next read in the progression on this play, I think Justin Fields, what he has to do here is he has to reset and hit Marquis Goodwin for the easy touchdown. This is a throw that Justin Fields can make. Don't get me mistaken there. But the easier play here is Marquis Goodwin in the back of the end zone. So we're going to see from the tight here. I want you to watch where Marquis Goodwin is when Justin Fields throws this ball. And we're going to see right here, two Bengals defenders going all the way with Darnell Mooney. Marquis Goodwin is running wide open right there. So, again, this is something where I think Justin Fields, not a bad read necessarily, not a terrible throw. I mean, he's running out of real estate right here. It's a tad late, I think. He has to anticipate this a little bit better if he's going to make this throw in this scenario. But, again, I think Marquis Goodwin is the guy to go to on this play. He's wide open here, and it is what it is. It's not a terrible throw by any means. It's not a terrible decision by any means. But, again, I think Justin Fields, when he looks back at the film session, he's going to want to have that play back just a little bit because that could have been something special right there for another touchdown here. All right, this is the last play I'll throw in from the mix section of this film breakdown. And this is the third down scramble that Justin Fields has. First of all, just an amazing athletic play from Justin Fields on this one. Breaking the tackle, escaping here, using his speed to get the first down on 3rd and 9. That's not easy stuff to do. I'll back it up here to the beginning of this play. This is a very, very impressive run here. But with that said, I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Why don't you watch Allen Robinson in the slot here on the bottom of the screen, because Allen Robinson, at the time that Justin Fields begins to initiate his scramble, is going to break wide open on this shallow cross concept that the Bears have running here. And Allen Robinson just wide open right here in the middle of the field. Justin Fields, he's already starting to take off. So, I mean, is it necessarily a bad play? I don't think so from Justin Fields. I think you can definitely justify it when you look at the tight here, because the pocket is going to get to condense it a little bit on him. I think it was a situation where he was getting pressured a lot in this game, so he felt the pressure coming and he wanted to get out of it and make a play. I don't fault him for it because he ends up does making the play, but in the future, I think I'd like to see him take the completion here and throw the ball to Allen Robinson on this one. We're going to see right here, watch Cody White here, left guard. He gets pushed back in the pocket a little bit. I think at this point, Justin Fields is seeing this, and he's like, okay, the pocket is condensing on me. I got to get out of here. I got to make a play because it's third down, and we need this first down. So I don't fault him for it necessarily, but in the future, I think it's one of those situations where I think you typically would like to see him stand in the pocket there and make the throw to Allen Robinson over the middle of the field, because that was open. And, you know, it was a great play by Justin Fields, don't get me wrong, but that is a much tougher play to get that first down scrambling like that than standing in the pocket and making the throw to the open wide receiver that's coming across your face right there. So it's nitpicky as hell right there. I'm not going to lie to you. It's definitely a nitpick. But just keep that in mind going forward that, you know, Justin Fields, you know, it was a great play, but process-wise, we'd like to see him get to the throw there in the future. Again, the athleticism and the ability to make plays off structure is awesome. You don't want to take that away from him because it's a dynamic part of his game. But moving forward, we want to see him doing a better job of making sure that he's going through his reads and hitting his guys on time within the structure of the offense when presented to him. But anyway, enough with the nitpicks and the bad stuff. Let's go straight to the good to end off this film session right here. And if you recognize this play, this is the play that the Bears actually, where Justin Fields threw his interception off of. And it's that basic sail concept, once again, where we have the vertical at the bottom of the screen, Darnell Mooney run the sail route. He's the first read on this play. And then Allen Robinson running the curl to the middle of the field. Marquis Goodwin running underneath in the shallow cross right there. And this is a great job, a great example of Justin Fields, you know, working within the structure of the offense with great timing, great balance, great pocket awareness, and also the throw on this play is going to be awesome. So you see right here, great timing, no hitch right there, gets the ball out on time, throws an absolute dart to Darnell Mooney for the first down on third down right there. Again, receive from the tight. This is just a very impressive play on third down. In rhythm, again, no hitch. Really good stuff on this play. This is what you want to see from Justin Fields every single time when it's presented to him. And just a lot of good stuff on this one that we see from him. Again, just absolutely rips that ball to the sideline. He makes these throws look effortless. Like that is not an easy throw. He makes it look easy from the far hash, throwing with that level of velocity and accuracy. And this is the last play I'll show because, you know, this, I thought, in my opinion, this was Justin Fields' best throw of the day. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to show up on the stat sheet because Allen Robinson gets the drop here. So what the Bears are running here, I didn't diagram it, but the Bears are running basically two verticals on the outside with Marquis Goodwin running a, you know, middle over route in the middle of the field. And, you know, this is very impressive from Justin Fields because what the Bengals are going to do defensively here is their safeties are going to rotate to a cover three where the safety at the bottom of the screen around the 30-yard line, he's going to rotate to the single high safety on this play, while the safety who's playing high around the far hash on this one, he's going to rotate to the cover three, you know, low safety on this one. And Justin Fields, we're going to watch his eyes on this play. He recognizes the safety rotation right away off the snap, and he knows that, okay, I have a one-on-one with Allen Robinson, and he delivers a perfect ball on the one-on-one here. So first of all, from the all-22, we see that, okay, the safeties have rotated here to a cover three, basically a cover three on this play. Allen Robinson's got a one-on-one on the outside. That means Justin Fields sees this. He looks that way right away. A little bit of a hitch there, but that's all right because he throws a beautiful ball, and Allen Robinson has to come down with this. We're going to see a better angle of that from the tight. So first of all, watch Justin Fields' eyes in this one. He does a good job of recognizing the safety rotation right away. So we're going to see it right here. So he sees it right away. He sees the safety going to the middle of the field, and he's like, okay, I got the one-on-one right now. And here's just a perfect ball right here. And I love Allen Robinson. I really do. I wish the Bears would find a way to, re-sign him long term here. But you got to make that play. And I'm not sure if Allen Robinson's just not used to getting accurate deep ball passes from his quarterbacks, because that's certainly a thing in Chicago during his tenure here. But yeah, he's got to make that play on this one. We're going to see this throw one more time. This play, that ball is beautiful right here. He just drops it in the bucket. Perfect. All right, there you have it. Those are some of the key plays that I saw from Sunday's game. Obviously a lot of good stuff for the defense in this one. This game was really all about them dominating from pretty much start to finish all throughout. But going back to Justin Fields here, some good in this one, definitely, with some flashes of greatness. But there was still a lot of bad that I think we have to go over as well. And, things that he's going to have to work on moving forward. But, here's the thing. It was his first significant action. He had to come in off the bench with a game plan geared more so to fit Andy Dalton's strengths rather than Justin Fields. And he's had very few reps with the ones, all throughout the offseason. And again, he's a rookie. So there are, of course, there are going to be things that he will struggle with early on in the early going of his career here. But I think we're going to, really get to see what he has in store for us with a full week of game planning and practicing this Sunday when he gets his first NFL start against the Cleveland Browns. I'm incredibly excited, and I can't wait. And it's something where we've been waiting for this for such a long time as Bears fans, to actually have a potential franchise quarterback. It's exciting stuff. Again, I did not show too many good, plays where it was just good from Justin Fields, but there was more, positives from this game that can be taken away here, I think, going forward. And, the future is here, Bears fans, and, let's enjoy it. So, that's going to wrap it up for me today. Once again, make sure to like and subscribe below for more content on YouTube from the Bear Report. I hope you guys are digging these film breakdowns. I certainly have a fun time putting these together. I hope everyone has a safe and healthy weekend. And until next time, Bears fans, bear down. Let's have some fun on Sunday with hopefully another Bears win to discuss here.